The last round of the Rugby Championship has concluded and the Springboks pulling off a massive win over Argentina, 48 points to 7. Definitely a different kind of contest than what we saw last week. Argentina just never really able to find their rhythm, and the Springboks from start to finish did look extremely dominant. And in this video, we're going to be looking through at what happened throughout the game, the try scorers, the key players, and then also some stats along the way of what happened throughout this fixture. But first of all, the scrums of the Springboks. That is somewhere that they asserted their dominance from the get-go. Scrums going backwards just out from the Argentine line. There were times where it was lucky that they didn't concede a penalty try, the Pumas. But overall, just physicality was the forefront for the South Africans throughout this game, and also a lot of attacking flair in the backline. We saw Manie Libbok, without the kicking tee, have a very strong game at number 10. We saw Apalele Fassi at number 15. For me, he is well and truly cemented now as the future Springbok fullback. He had 2 tries to his name. Alongside that, just linking up perfectly with Manie Libbok. He's one of those guys that could certainly help the Springboks on attack in the future. But those two were not the only 2 Springboks who stepped up. Pieter-Steph du Toit scoring himself 2 tries, getting himself the man of the match in this game. I should mention the other tries that we did see scored. Jesse Kriel got 1, Malcolm Marx got another, and then Cheslin Colby, the other man who scored for the Springboks. So they were able to get themselves 7 tries throughout this 80 minutes. Argentina just getting the one of Thomas Albanoz, and he is one of those guys that even in defeat did look extremely strong for Argentina throughout the game. But South Africa, they secured the 5 points. They secured the Rugby Championship. Eben Etzebeth becoming the most capped Springbok of all time. A really nice speech afterwards from Siya Kolisi as well. Those two have been in the same side for an extremely long time, and they possibly will be for still a little bit more time to come as well. But looking through at the stats for the South Africans, they had 766 meters gained compared to the 217 that we saw gained from Argentina. 30 defenders beaten compared to the 19. So Argentina actually pulling it back quite nicely in the second half in terms of defenders beaten, but just nowhere near enough possession to really cement anything throughout this fixture. We saw 17 clean breaks for South Africa. We saw Jasper Wiese running hard at the line, Colby breaking ankles, Pieter-Steph du Toit just having, once again, a Pieter-Steph du Toit performance. At the moment, when he doesn't get man of the match, people consider it a poor game for Pieter-Steph du Toit. No matter what happens, when that man is on the field, impact is happening for the Springboks, and the bomb squad off the bench also having their own respective moments throughout this game as well. But a massive win, like I said, for the South Africans, a thoroughly deserved Rugby Championship victory, their first since 2019, and to do it in such emphatic fashion. 5 wins out of 6 with a statement of 41 points over the side that beat them last week is exactly what Rassie as well as his team would have been hoping for this week in South Africa. But nonetheless, this is just a very short review of the match. We have still got another game of the URC that we are covering a little bit later on between the Stormers and the Ospreys, as well as giving updates of the Sharks versus Connacht. But someone who is playing in that Stormers team is Damian Willemse with the form of Apalele Fassi. Does Damian Willemse even make it straight back into the Springbok squad at the moment? That is a question that will soon be answered when Rassie announces his November international squad. But do let me know what you thought of this game, and also who you think stepped up for the Springboks and Argentina throughout. But thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And I will see you all for the next one.